maybe that fixed the
That's
problem.
okay. You should be able to hear me now. You hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, you're good.
Okay.
All
All right,
right,
we're just going phone audio.
for
So if
sure.
I could go anywhere in the world, where would I go?
Yeah.
Uh, right, right now, I would probably go to El Salvador.
Mm. And why is that?
Yeah. One of my friends was just there, and he said now that the president of El Salvador has like gotten rid of all the gangs and stuff, it's really peaceful. They have like really nice like beaches and stuff, and everything's dirt cheap. Like uh hotel accommodations, staying at resorts and all that. He said it's all dirt cheap because no one wants to go there because it was violent, but now it's peaceful. And so, people haven't caught on yet that it's like an improved country.
Mm. Okay, so
I've
you
pretty much
agree.
been everywhere else. So that's the place I would go.
Okay, so it's like pretty much nice now because like the government over there cleaned up the streets and all.
Exactly.
Mm. And do you agree like what the president's doing, like locking up all these like gang members and stuff?
Um, yeah, I agree with what he's doing because I think like the cartels and stuff over there are way more violent than the gangs over here. And you got a bunch of people leaving the country because they're saying that they fear, the cartels and the gangs. So, as the president, who's the representative of the people, the only thing I could think of is, I mean, he's doing what he's supposed to do: lock up the gang members who are intimidating the people, so that the people could live, peacefully.
Mm. So do you think like all gang members are like bad? Because I know like some of them like they work and all, and they were just previously gang members and now they're out of their life. But they also got locked up over there for having like tattoos and all. Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't think all gang members are bad. I think that like when you mix like gangs with like drugs, and I don't mean like selling drugs. I mean like using drugs. When you mix those two elements, you have a situation that can be bad that can go bad. Like me, I'm a member of a gang. I used to be a gang banger, but what I noticed is even when I was gang banging, the dudes who were doing all the most crazy stuff, they were on drugs. They were doing like PCP and meth and all this type of stuff. So I don't think all gang members are bad. I think drug addicted gang members really help to give gang members a bad name.
Mm. So like drugs is like ruining like the reputation and all.
Yeah, because I believe there was actually a time when gang members, part of being in a gang was you couldn't use drugs, but that got like done away with. And so now the dudes who before were like selling the drugs, they're using the drugs now, and it's just not a good mix.
Mm. No, I hear that for sure. Okay, and what is like one thing you would put on your bucket list?
On my bucket list, um, one thing to put on my bucket list, I couldn't I couldn't even tell you, but something I've always wanted to do was I've always wanted to skydive. So that's a bucket list thing.
Mm. Okay, so are you afraid of heights at all? Or no?
Not really. I mean, I have a reasonable fear of heights. Like if I'm up on something high, I'm like, yo, I got to be careful. But I know that if I got in a plane to skydive, I would just say fuck it and do it.
Yeah, that's what's up right there for sure. That shit would definitely be scary for me for sure. Jumping off a plane and all, parachuting. Um, okay, what is like the worst place you could get stuck in?
Well, I'm fat, so I hate the heat. So I think the worst place for me would be like the desert.
Hmm. Oh, that shit would just be like the weather and shit, like all harsh and shit. Yeah. No, I feel you on that.
Man, listen, I will be cooked, bro. I'm not trying to be walking nowhere in extreme heat. I'm already fat. I'm gonna be sweating like crazy, thirsty as hell. I couldn't do it.
Nah, I hear that for sure. What is your dream job?
Um, my dream job would probably be like bikini contest judge. If I got a bunch of money just to grade beautiful women in bikinis all day, that would be the dream job.
That's like the life right there for sure. Um, okay. Who do you admire the most?
Adam 22. No, I'm just fucking.
I was gonna say because he's your boss and like
That,
that's
that
one of
that that is not true. But hell no. Admire the most. It will probably be somebody like I like Denzel Washington a lot. I think he's an admirable guy. He's an actor, but you never hear he ain't got no smut on his rep. He keeps his nose pretty clean, and yet he's like hella successful. People like that who are successful, but you never hear him involved in any type of scandal or anything like that. I admire people like that.
yeah, most definitely like people with their records clean and all. Now, would
Yeah,
you
and
ever?
people who could probably get away with a lot, but they don't. They just say, I'm gonna keep it cool.
Yeah, yeah, I hear that. Would you ever try acting yourself?
Yeah, yeah, I would. I was actually supposed to be in a movie, but I missed my flight. The movie was being filmed in Arizona, and I missed my flight that morning because the guy actually sent me the wrong time, the producer, and so I missed the flight. And then by the time like we corrected everything, he was just like, man, it's like he was like, I got to shoot because the set that he had that where he was going to shoot the scene I was going to be in, it was like a time limit. So by the time I would have got there, the set would have been no longer been available. So he just was like, next time he makes a movie, he'll put me in it. And the guy actually has movies on Tubi and stuff. Like it's pretty
Uh,
good.
hey, that's what's up right there. Oh, I was gonna ask, was it like a big like movie that you were gonna be in?
Not like a huge movie. It was like a low budget. It was like a low budget movie, but well directed, well acted, just not a huge budget.
Mm. Okay, nah, that's what's up right there. Um, what is your favorite like summer activity?
Man, going to the beach, having a bonfire, just like I like it when it's like when you get to the beach because it's always colder than you think it's gonna be. You're like, I'm going to the beach, it's hot. You get to the beach, it's cold, but then as the night comes, you light a nice big bonfire, put on some music, and you're just chilling out there until it closes.
Like some s'mores and all?
S'mores, hot dogs, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that'd be a dope vibe right there for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did you grow up, or where were you born?
Long Beach, California,
Oh,
and I grew up here.
okay. And did you grow up with both parents?
No, no. I grew up living with my grandmother at first. Well, I lived with my mom till I was 3, and then I ended up living with my grandmother. Because my mom was still like in the party life. So like I lived with my grandma until I was about 11. Then I moved back with my mom. And then when I was like 14, I moved out of my mom's house and I stayed with my grandfather from the time I was 14 to the time I was 21. So I had a little bit. I moved around a little bit, but all in Long Beach.
Mm, okay. And how was your household like?
Um, with my grandmother, that was cool. We were like doing a lot of church and stuff like that. Going to church all the time. And then when I moved with my mom, I think my mom, because she hadn't really raised kids from like a young age, by the time she got, by the time we went back, me and my brother and sister went back to live with her. I think she just imagine like you're a parent, but your kids come in at 11 years old, 12 years old. They're going into being teenagers. So you really didn't get the baby phase where you could kind of like teach them your preferences and stuff. You just get them as teenagers. It was kind of like that. So there was a big disconnect, uh, lots of arguing. you know, fighting and yelling at the house and stuff. Just between like me and my mom, not seeing eye to eye on shit, button heads. And then by the time I was like 14, I was just like, man, I gotta get the hell out of here. I can't I can't live here. So then I left her house and went to my grandfather's house. And I promise you, my grandfather was just like, look, man, you're going to do whatever you want to do. If you want to go to school, you're going to go to school. If you don't, you're not. He basically gave me money and was like, do whatever the hell you want. And I chose to like go to school, play football, graduate, all that stuff.
So your grandpa didn't really have no restrictions, or he wasn't really like he didn't really care what you did or any of that.
No, he did. He no, literally anything I wanted to do. If I wanted to come in the house at 3 in the morning, he didn't care. If I wanted to stay gone for 2 weeks, he didn't care. Only thing he asked me is like, do you need any money? I'll be like, yeah. He'll give me like 40, $50. And then I'll be on my way.
So would you say this is the reason why you got into the street, like street life and all?
Um, Not really, because the street stuff happened because I was getting into it with some dudes from a certain gang. And actually it's the same gang that my dad is from. And then so like my dad is from one gang, and then my mom's side of the family is from another gang that's like the rival of that gang. So if I'm getting into it with these guys and I got like family from this other side, it only made sense that I would be like, hey, I'm gonna get put on over here. So you guys can help me deal with these other guys who are bothering me, giving me a hard time every day.
Yeah. So your dad wouldn't like talk to those gang members at all, since he was like from the same gang, to like not mess with you or any of that.
Well, my dad is in prison to this day, but back then he was in prison. He's been in prison since I was 11 years old. And he has like life in prison. He ain't getting out. But the thing that was funny was some of his homeboys who were older, they would get at these guys like, "Hey, leave bro alone. That's the homie's son." But you know how young dudes are. They're hard headed. They don't care. They'll agree in the moment, and then later on they see you somewhere else, and you're gonna get into it. And me too. I was a shit talker. I talk shit, to them. Because I wasn't afraid of them. I just, it's just always more. It was always they travel in packs, so we would fight and we would always get into fights every day. But then I got in that mindset where I was like, man, forget that. I'm gonna go get me some friends, and we're gonna come back and get you guys. And then that's kind of how that started.
Oh,
It was
okay.
real
So
petty.
okay, so that's when you ended up joining the gang because you were pretty much outnumbered.
Yeah, pretty much like yeah, like literally fighting every day after school. I would have to walk home from the city bus, and I'll leave practice at like 6 o'clock at night for football, and then I would go walk down that street, and those guys just like they'll be waiting. Oh yeah, what you saying? And they just came every day because maybe even if you might get tired of fighting, but if you have a group of people, just on a different day, you just get a different person to fight to start it off, and then try to like gang up on the guy.
Yeah. And what age was this when you joined the gang?
This was 16,
Okay.
16.
And what gang was this?
20s, rolling 20s in Long Beach.
Mm. Okay. And
It is a
what?
it's a Crip gang. There's only Crip gangs in Long Beach.
All right. All right. And once you did join the gang, do you feel like your life changed?
Not really. No. Because I was playing sports and stuff, you know? So like that's one thing if you're in a gang, if you play sports, it's like you get a pass. Like there's just like, hey man, go to practice, you know? Because they're all
Mm.
thinking like maybe you'll get to the NFL or something one day. And it's like Snoop Dogg. They're gonna tell Snoop Dogg go to the studio. They ain't gonna tell Snoop Dogg, hey, let's go get on a mission together. This guy's like somebody who's doing something that could lead to success and recognition for the game.
Yeah, most that. So you were doing good in sports, like in football and all.
Yeah, I was doing good. I was playing really good, and I was the captain of my one of the captains of my high school team, and yeah, it was good.
Okay. And how was your academics?
Academics, they were always good. You have to. have good grades to be eligible to play football. So I always kept my grades good. Never really struggled in school. School came easy to me. So I would say overall good. I was in AP courses, AP English, AP History, stuff like that, because I enjoyed writing and reading a
Yeah,
lot.
so you're like in the advanced classes.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, all right. And did you ever get in trouble like in school, maybe like fights or get expelled, any of that?
When I was younger, like when I was in elementary school, I got kicked out of 5 different schools. I literally got kicked out of the school district, and they sent me to a school where the teachers have permission to actually hit you. Right? You probably won't believe that, but it was a school called
With a ruler or
Cedarside.
something like that?
Nah, this bitch had a paddle, big ass, big, like one of those pickleball paddles,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
Those
like
long.
wider. It was wider and it was thick. It was hard. So like if she hit you, it wasn't gonna break. It was hard. So she had permission to hit you on the butt with that paddle. But she had kids like I think I was 10 years old or 11. I was 10 years old and I was in a school with like dudes from like 10 to like 17 years old. We would all be in the same class. So when this chick went off on you, some of those kids would try to like fight her back. So she'll just start wailing on you. She'll start hitting your ass anywhere with that thing. But
Yeah.
everyone in that class,
Mm. So that kept
she was
people
tough as hell.
like on that path, right? You know, was it
Yeah, it
legal to
straightened people out. I
was it
will say
legal?
it really did work. It straightened my ass out and it straightened a lot of people out.
Okay, nah, that's like some type of military type school.
Not really military, but yeah, but like it's like it was like a continuation school. But I think they phased that out where they would let the teacher hit you with a paddle. They got rid of that. That's probably why these kids are so fucked up now. But back then, yeah, you definitely the lady's name was Miss Gibson. She's probably dead now, but yeah, she definitely could beat the shit out of you with that paddle. And you go home and tell your parents go to the district's like, not our problem. That's a separate school. That's that's what they allow.
All right, let's show that right there. Okay, and while you were going to school, like after school, would you be like hanging around like games and all that, or was like, what did you do after school?
Well, at that time when I was younger, I was not in a gang. But when I joined the gang, I really wasn't hanging out a lot because I was doing like football. I was doing football until night. Go home, you're tired, eat some food, chill, watch TV, go to sleep. But when I got a car, I did start hanging out more. But man, I was on girls. Like I was trying to get girls. Like I'd be at some chick's house or either in the house or hanging outside of the house. She'd be in the car with me or we'll be going somewhere to some like horny corner or whatever to do stuff. I definitely wasn't even, yeah, let's go out and fight the ops. I was just like, man, I'm trying to get some females. I got school in the morning. I got practice after that. My life was really like, my life was really organized, you know?
Yeah, so you weren't really even like you didn't really care about like your enemies or just hanging out with anyone. You were like focused on like, getting girls and all that.
The funny thing is, back in those days, I would say the gang that was like our rivals, they weren't as big as they are now. So it was kind of like you if you see them, you deal with them. If you don't, it's whatever. Now, say we on the weekends we go to a movie or something like that, and we saw them at the movies. We got our girlfriends with us. Oh, it was definitely up. We was definitely somebody was gonna get beat up, you know. But we have little skirmishes and stuff, but nothing too crazy because it was like public areas. But some dudes did get shot, and some dudes on the other side got shot. Stuff was going on, but mostly playing football kind of kept me from that stuff. People already understood. Yeah, bro, about to be at practice. Bro, about to be. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Okay, so it wasn't like that bad, where you had to like keep a weapon on you or any of that.
No, we kept weapons. Like I from like 15 till I graduated. I took a gun to school every day. But the reason we had to do that is because we were getting into it with this Hispanic gang in Long Beach called West Side Longo. So those were more like the ops because I went to school on the west side. And so when you would like leave practice, there was a pizza place called Mama Mia's Pizza. Every day those fools were waiting right there. And just depending on the day, they might say something to you, they might not. And so either you might have to fight, or if it's like a lot of them and they pull out guns or whatever, you might have to run. And then, when you get to a certain age, you just tell yourself, like, fuck all that running. I ain't running no more. And so that's when you start carrying a gun and stuff. But thank God, I never had to use that in anything involved in school. You know, things kind of like eased up because they built a police station right next door to my school. And that pizza place they would hang out at, it shut down. So they started hanging somewhere else, like my 11th grade year in high school. So it was cool. It worked out.
Okay, so it was like became
People,
more safer.
yeah, it became a bit more safe, yeah. And mostly the problem would exist at night. But see, I lived on the east side, but I went to school on the west side, but I lived on the east side. So I wasn't on the west side at night, so I didn't have to deal with that.
Okay, all right. And you said you were playing football. Did you ever like go to college for it or get a scholarship at all?
No, man. I had some interest, but me, I really didn't know the way the process worked because I remember I wasn't like living with my parents. I was living with my grandfather. So like some of the things I would have had to do to be eligible for the scholarship, I did them too late. And so then one coach, he was like, uh, just go to junior college, play junior college, and then if you're good, you could get a scholarship offer there. So when I left high school, I went and played junior college, and while I was in junior college, and I was just like, you know what? I need to stay here and take care of my kid.
Okay, so you were focused on raising a family.
Exactly.
Oh,
It was like it didn't make sense to be like, oh, let me get a scholarship and go to another state, and I got a kid on the way.
yeah, most okay, so that's when you dropped out of college.
Yeah. Well, I didn't drop out. I graduated with my Associates of Arts degree from Compton College. That's an AA. But I just never went and finished my bachelor's.
Hmm, okay, all right. And have you ever got into any drugs? I know, like being in a gang life, a lot of them be getting into drugs and all that.
No, no drugs. No drugs. Never. I've never even smoked a cigarette, bro. I never even drank a beer. I never did any type of drugs or alcohol.
What made you want to stay away from all that?
Um, it just wasn't appealing to me, and they'd just be all messed up. And then I was like, drug addicts, and they'd be all like, no teeth,
All
homeless.
down bad.
I was just like, yeah. And I just had people around me who like would tell me like, you always like they would tell me, oh, I remember those people when we were in high school and they were popular and they were cool and everyone liked them. And they started messing with drugs and they never thought that they could be, like the people they seen who were messed up on drugs and alcohol. And they were like, look at them now. And so I was like, I don't ever want to be that person who's like, oh, it won't be me. And then I'm all strung out and shit. That just like sits in the back of my mind, like, hell no.
So it like scared you or to like stay away from it and all.
Yeah. Just the idea of that type of embarrassment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Most that. Okay, and when did you start podcasting?
I started podcasting in the year 2000 during C19 um, because we were all stuck in the house. And I was just like, I had a lot of thoughts and opinions on that. And I was like, how do I express these thoughts and opinions? And somebody was just like, dude, you should just do like a podcast. And I just started recording everyday live streams for like 2 hours. And I would just hit record and just start talking. And just after a couple of months, it built up. And before I knew it, I had like 5,000 subscribers. And I was like, yo, this is cool. And so then I just kept going.
Mm. Okay, so did it take you some time to like blow up, or like did you have to make like just a couple videos and then automatically you got all those followers?
I still don't think I've blown up, but definitely just consistency. And it took about, I would say for me to reach 5,000 subscribers, it took me about 6 months to reach about 5,000 subscribers. I was happy to just even have 20 subscribers when I started. I was like, I got like just to have 20 people watching meant everything to me. But as time goes on, you're like, I need more people watching. But dude, even having one or two people watching is good because there's people who go live and no one's watching, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, I hear that. Hey, so what was like the first viral video you dropped?
My initial video that went kind of viral, um, it was a video that I made about the reparations thing with the black people saying they want reparations. I made a video about a conference that was held about reparations, and that video did really well. It was like a short video. I filmed it inside of a Walgreens as I was walking around shopping. I was just talking about what I thought about reparations and black people need to stop begging and start working and all this stuff. And that video did pretty good. It got about 10,000 subscribers. Oh no, I had another video. It was about versus brown, uh, black versus brown, and it was about gang violence in Long Beach. And that video did like 70,000 views. And I got so many people who were so mad at me commenting on that video, and they were emailing me, going off on me and stuff. But that was my most viral video by far. That's the first time I passed 5,000 views. And it went to 70,000. It was crazy.
And like what were you talking about in that video? Like was it like just blacks versus like brown gangs, or just the way they live?
So what I did was I was talking about blacks versus brown gangs, but there was a dude, I think he was from East Side Longo. He was on drugs and he was in the alley behind this store that I had went to. So when I left the store, I went around the back and when I went to the store, he like banged on me. He's like, "Where are you from, fool?" Like, but he's all messed up on Scante. And so then when I came out, I said, "You know what? I'm gonna record this motherfucker, for banging on me." So I
Yeah.
rolled around in my car. I start recording him. He's acting all tweaked out. And then I'm like, see, this is where this life leads to. And I just like go, if you've ever watched me, you know how I do. I just start lecturing about like gangs and the beef between Long Beach, Mexican and black gangs, and how the one thing that they have in common is a lot of these dudes get turned out on drugs. And then when they're on drugs, they end up being peaceful with each other because they both chasing those drugs, you know? They don't care about gang stuff no more. They just want to get high. They'll sit in the same homeless encampment smoking a pipe together. But 5, 10 years ago, they were trying to kill each other. And so all these people, even blacks, Mexican people, they were attacking me. You this and that. They just were going crazy. But guess what? Those views kept going up, and I was like, you must be doing something right. And that kind of got me in this like mode where I like just analyze everything honestly, like straight down the middle, across the board. Like I criticize people not really because they're race, but I'll criticize people from any race, especially my own. But that's kind of like that kind of got my that kind of like wet my whistle, so to speak, when it came to like accountability content.
Okay, all right, all right. So like you would say like drugs brings people together, even like enemies and shit.
Say that again.
You would say like drugs brings like people together, but like in a bad way. Your enemy could
Yeah,
be smoking like crack or fentanyl with you and shit, and you wouldn't even care.
right. Because you don't care where that guy's. I don't know where you're from, but
From the
like, say
valley,
you're in your neighborhood. Where are
the
you from?
valley out here, Van Nuys.
Like San
Yeah.
Fernando? Okay. So like say you know a guy who's like a dealer. Go sit at his house for 5 minutes. He's probably from somewhere, but when he's selling his stuff, people from every place are coming to him to get those drugs. They don't care about none of that gang stuff no more. If a guy's from one gang, he ain't gonna say I'm only gonna buy drugs from this gang. He's gonna get it from wherever he can get it, and wherever he can get it for a good price or where he can get it on credit, right? So like what I realized was once people find something that they value more than like what sets you from and I got to bang for the hood and all the division, it kind of no longer matters. And it makes me ask, like, how much did it ever really matter? Because I mean, I've been to jail before and stuff. You see dudes from different gangs in jail like making money together, playing cards together, different stuff like that. And then especially on the outside, you got a dude who might be from a rival gang, but he's a supplier of drugs and stuff to the gang that his gang is the rival of. It's just crazy shit like that happens. And it just that's when I realized there's no real rules to this. People make up the rules as they go along and then they break the rules as they see fit.
And so a lot of people go against like their morals.
Oh, of course. I'll give you a prime example. We used to be going more with the dudes from West Side Longo and East Side Longo. Now, one of my friends, he still like sells drugs and stuff. He gets his stuff from some dudes from over there. They're taking pictures together, all types of shit. I'm like, what? I kid you not. They're on a picture, locked hands, like, yeah, they didn't want us to come together, but woo, we got to make this money. I'm like, bro, all this bad history is out the window. Because why? Money. They can make money off each other. And that's why I tell people this stuff is not, you'll be so silly. You'll lose your life behind these little gang beefs. And those same people who are pumping you up to do that stuff behind the scenes, they're hanging out with each other. They're freaking, and I don't know if you're from a gang, but I'm sure you've seen some stuff like that before.
Yeah,
Like I
most
thought
definitely.
this was the enemies. What? Why the big homie at bro house, and they over there hanging out drinking, and you like I've seen that before, and that to me it just made me realize you're crazy as hell if you let these dudes tell you to do something based on this rivalry, and then a couple months later you find out these dudes are making thousands of dollars together, sitting back joking about how they have the ability to put a battery in someone's back and make them go do some crazy shit, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So like these big like gang members, like gang leaders, they're not even doing what they preach.
Am I the only one? Have you ever seen something like that?
Yeah, it's mostly like from drugs and all, like just them being into drugs, so they don't really care about like their morals and all that. Just like the drugs be getting a
Right.
hold of them.
Yeah.
Nah, so it's the same thing like with the Nipsey and YG situation, but this was like because the money was involved and all. So now I hear what you're saying for sure.
Because you might have beef with this gang because they might have killed your brother or killed your family member. But because this guy who ain't giving you no money is getting money with this guy, now he's telling you you can't do anything to these guys. You got to let all that go. Well, if we can let it go for you to make money, why can't we let it go for there to be peace in the street? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true right there for sure.
So
Okay, and you were also on the Viral Wave podcast like, before you got on No Jumper. Like, how did you get on the podcast, and what made you want to join like the team?
the thing about Viral Way, he says stuff like, "We're the reason you are where you are." Viral Way was talking about starting a podcast for like 2 years after I started my podcast. Viral Way, the guy Mr. Viral, he wouldn't he just do it. Every day I would hit him up on Instagram. Hey man, you need to start that podcast. I'll support you 100%. I'll throw my weight behind you and share your content, all this stuff. So eventually he did it. And then I was like helping him. And I told him I would show up and be a contributor on the podcast, until they got to the point where they were like rolling on their own.
Yeah.
So that's what it was all about. I was literally just helping this guy out. And it's so funny that he is now running around telling people that he made me who I am. I'm like, bro, I came to this podcast to help you out. I didn't come here because I don't get paid to be on that podcast. I was helping him out for free. But, that's how things are. The people you help, a lot of them are going to be ungrateful in the end.
Okay, so you're the one who like motivated them to start their own podcast.
Big time. I still have those messages on Instagram.
All right, all right. And what made them say that they made you, like they made your name?
Just pride, I think. Just pride. I think he was just trying to like make me look bad. He doesn't realize I don't give a shit about that. No one made anybody. Every man has to get up every day and make a decision to do something, right? You had to make a decision to hit me up and invite me over here. No one can say, "Oh, his channel is successful because of me," right? Even if I'm here and say this video blew up and got 1 million views, I couldn't then take credit for that because you're the one who took the first step to reach out to me and say, "Hey, bro, come over to my channel. Let's do an interview." You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and would you say that you're the one who got viral way like big, but you say that they just did it themselves and then you did it yourself? That's what.
They. The thing is, I've had some viral moments on the viral way that got like 1 million views, but nah, his success, the credit for his successes goes all to him because he's the one who provided the environment for me to say what I said to make the video go viral. So I give him all his credit. I don't want any of it.
All right.
I'm not that kind of person.
I know you guys started beefing like because you were supposed to box someone like at one of his garages or something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And Vireway came to like they showed up to like I guess support you and all. And then you said that they weren't gonna help you out in a fight if someone jumped in. And they were probably gonna do you dirty and all. And that's what like kicked off the whole beef and them like talking shit about you and all. Do you feel that way that they didn't they didn't have your back like during that time you were gonna fight that one UFC fighter?
Yeah, I definitely feel like if we would have fought and something went left, I don't think they would have jumped in to help me. I don't think they would have jumped in and start like beating me or kicking me or anything or beating me up. But like just based on some interactions we had recently, I was just like, I don't think these dudes really have my back. These dudes seem like they're very hungry for content. And when you're around someone who's hungry for content, they're really unpredictable. You're like, I don't know what this fool might do, because he wants to get a viral moment so bad. So my intuition was telling me something. And I say, you always should go with your gut feeling. And that's what my gut feeling was telling me. So I went with it.
They were pretty much there to like just get content out of it, like you and Worksheet.
Yeah, because $40,000 MMA gym that he built in his garage, right? When we get there, it's just a regular garage with like concrete floors, washing machine, dryer, refrigerator, desk, and all this shit, this glass stuff on the walls. So when I got there and he lied, I was like, look, man, I'm not fighting you in no garage on concrete. We can get a gym. I have a gym I have access to. I was like, we can just go to the gym and handle our business, because he's a professional fighter. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. That's just a no-no in martial arts. You should not be in no street having no knockdown, drag-out fight with anybody, especially if both of you are professionals, right?
Yeah.
So I said, let's do a gym. Now, if this is my homie and you lie, like even if I didn't know, I don't know you, but if I set up a fight between you and another person, and the person is like, yeah, we're gonna fight in a boxing ring, and then I bring you to the fight, and they're like, no, we ain't gonna fight in the boxing ring. We're just gonna fight. We're gonna have a circle of cars, and we're just gonna fight out here on the concrete. As the person who like set up the fight, I'm gonna be like, no, bro, this is not what we agreed to. Now, if you can't provide a boxing ring We will. And we're going to just schedule this for another day so we can do it the way we agreed to do it. That's what I would say, even if it was you and I don't know you.
Yeah, yeah.
Viral didn't do that. Viral was like, no, it don't matter. You should fight. I'm like, bro, listen. I said we're going to be signing waivers and all types of stuff. Now he said, F all that. Let's just have a knockdown, drag out fight in his hood wherever he's from. And me, I'm a big guy and he's a small guy. I'm like, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to kill this guy. And what happens when I start kicking his ass? And you've been in street fights before. Street fights are unpredictable. You don't
Yeah.
know what might happen. So I said, hell no. I'm in enemy territory. I don't know this guy at all. I before that day, I had never even been to Whittier, bro. Never in my life. I said I will be dumb to get in a street fight out here when we are outnumbered. We don't even know really where we're at. Let's just take it to a gym, which I did. And when I set up the gym and everything, he turned it down. He got scared and told me he was just a troll and he was just trolling me.
Mm. So that like whole situation that you were in was pretty like sketchy, you know.
It was sketchy. Would you fight me, like you personally? If I told you to fight me and said, "Hey, bro, we're gonna go to the boxing gym, DG Boxing, and we're gonna have a fight," and then you came down to DG Boxing, and I'm like, "Nah, man, DG Boxing's closed, so we're just gonna fight in the back, in the alley behind DG Boxing." To you, does that sound right, or to you, does that sound sketchy as fuck?
Yeah, most definitely sounds like sketchy and shit. Like you thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be
So,
professional, and then that shit's like all unprofessional. And yeah, yeah, like
so why? So if someone's your friend and something like that happened, why would they go on the internet saying you got marked out, you turned it down, you this and that? They wanted to make you look bad. They wanted to make you look bad. That was their goal already. And then before that, I had the incident with Almighty Suspect. I don't know if you remember that. I had the
yeah,
incident with Almighty. Right. What did Viral tell me? He said, man, he was right to pull a knife out on you. That's what Viral said to me. He said, Suspect was right to pull a knife out on you.
oh, that's crazy.
My mind off of that alone, my wife was like, bro, these dudes are not your friends. Why would your friend tell you that someone was right to pull a weapon out on you when they were challenging you to a fist fight?
Right,
But
and they're supposed to
right,
have your back and all. I hear you.
right. So it was not just all of a sudden where I was like, these dudes don't got my back. It was something that I came to a conclusion on after many things that they said that just didn't sit right with me. And so when I got there, I remembered all that stuff and I was like, yeah, these dudes don't got my back. These dudes want to see me take a fall. So they could go make a video and say, well, we told bro, we was telling him, this type of thing. So fuck him, fuck all of them,
Mm.
in my opinion.
So they would just wanted to see you crash out.
They want to see me, yeah, and they want to see it crash out where I take a loss. Because when someone says someone was right to pull a knife on their friend, quote unquote, that ain't their friend. That's like someone said, "Oh, it's right to pull a knife out on my son." No, bro. If my son goes to fight you with fists, anybody who pulls out a weapon is immediately a punk. No, fight's over. You pulled out a weapon, you lost. But they said, no, 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 bro. That was right to do. It's ignorant.
I think because Almighty is also from the streets. I guess he said that. I know he said that the streets aren't fair and like anything could happen.
But in the streets, if you challenge a man to a fist fight, you're expected to have a fist fight. I
Right,
don't
right.
care what I don't care what hood you're from, bro. If someone says, "Hey, bro, we going from the shoulders," that does not mean act like you're gonna fight and then pull out a knife and try to stab the guy. There's no way. I've never known a hood that was about that.
Mm. No, most
Your
definitely.
homies might jump in if you're losing. They might jump in, but to say like let's fight and then when the guy goes to fight, you pull out a knife and try to stab, hell no.
I know like some people they say that a 2-on-1 is still a fair fight. It's an even fight. Do you feel like that's even?
No, 2-on-1 is not a fair fight. Now, if somebody's really big or something, yeah. But if a big person attacks you and two of you guys jump him and kick his ass, yes, I understand that. But if you're challenging this guy to a fight and say, bro, let's catch a head up, let's catch a one-on-one, and then two people jump him, no, bro, you're wrong. You challenged to a one-on-one, and then when the moment came, you got scared like a coward and tried to jump the guy.
Yeah, no, I agree with that for sure. Like a one on one is should be like that should be the fair fight right there. All right. You also said that you got locked up at one point. What was the reason
Shit,
why?
I got told to jump 4 times.
Okay, the first time, how old were you?
18.
Mm, what was the situation that led to getting locked up?
Gun charge. At that time, 18, we were getting into it like the West Side Longos real heavy and the East Side Longos. I was at my uncle's house. He asked me to go to the store and buy him some beer. There was only one store around my neighborhood that would sell me beer without asking for ID. I went to that store, bought the beer. As I'm coming out, it's like 8 dudes from East Side Longo in the parking lot. They're calling me all the usual crab, mayate, all this stuff. And I'm like, man,
Crazy
whatever,
stuff.
man. That's crazy shit. I don't care. I don't even take it personal anymore because I just know it's a part of the nonsense. So I'm like, I'm talking stuff back. They're like, F crab, all this stuff. And then I'm saying F them and whatever. And but I'm thinking it's just we're just gonna exchange words and I'm gonna go about my business. Nah, dude. It was actually on the 4th of July, too. 4th of July, bro. Start
Oh,
fighting.
they're probably
And
drunk
you
or
know
something.
who me?
No, I'm saying they were probably drunk.
They were probably drunk. I think they were probably having like a party right around there. Um, Probably coming to do the same thing as me, pick up some beer. Um, so we start fighting. And the worst part about it was there was a guy with them named Pedro who I literally sat next to for a government class the whole year. Government and econ. Literally, this guy sat at my table. It was like 4 seats per table.
Yeah.
Literally, this guy sat at my table for the whole year. We did projects together, all that. Bro was cool. This fool was with him. But look, when I looked at him, he looked like he was like out of his mind. Like his eyes were all like, you know,
Off something.
he was on something. Man, this dude, they ran up on me. They started swinging on me and stuff. I'm swinging on them. We're like legitimately fighting. And so when we start fighting, I think those fools are like high and drunk. So they're like stumbling, and I'm sober. Man, I just started getting tired, so I just, I went for it. And then like as soon as that happened, fucking police rolled up in the parking lot. Somebody must have called and been like, there's guys fighting. The police already alert because the 4th of July rolled up in the parking lot, took my fucking ass to jail.
So you got lucky that you didn't end up like shooting someone or any of them.
No, I got a serious charge, but it got reduced to discharging a weapon in city limits, which is just a misdemeanor.
Okay, so you ended up like not hitting anyone, shooting anyone.
No. Nobody. Those fools took off. You know what I'm saying? They ran. Because they lived right there. I didn't live right there. But they took off and they didn't like come to court or anything. And so they were charging me with something serious. And then I got a lawyer. I paid for a lawyer $8,000. The guy comes and he basically argues like, how do you know this guy wasn't just shooting in the air because it was 4th of July? People do that on 4th of July. And the prosecution could not argue it because they didn't have any witnesses or any victims. So they agreed. I think I got 90 days in jail, end up doing 30. I got out early. But to this day, I have a CCW because that got reduced down to a misdemeanor. If I got convicted of that for what it was, not only would I have been in prison, I would have never been able to own a firearm in the state of California. That's why it pays to get a paid lawyer versus the public defender.
So you feel like a public defender would have just made your case worse.
He wouldn't have gave a fuck. I had him. I had him because I was in jail for 3 days. because I was afraid to call my grandfather and tell him what happened. And so I have went to court once already. And the public defender was like, "Oh yeah, they're offering you 6 years with half. You're gonna do 6 years, but you're only gonna do 3 years. You're gonna do 3 years on parole or parole." I said, "Hell no!" Soon as they, soon as he said that, I got back to the county. Man, I got on that phone so fast making collect calls.
Yeah, let me
You
call
know,
up a
you get
good
to that.
lawyer.
Hell yeah, you get to that point where you break down and you just gotta tell somebody. So I called my grandfather. He was like, "Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it." Man, I went to court. I went on the court bus to go back to court. When I went to court, that guy came up to me. "Hey, Mr. Tucker, my name is Marshall Broadway from the Cochran Law Firm. Did it on be your representation? Are they treating you okay? Blah, 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 blah. Don't even worry about this. I'm telling you right now, you're probably going to get 4 months in jail." That guy got me exactly what he said he was going to give me. He said four, I got three.
Nah, that's what's up right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I believe in the justice system. If you got money, the justice system work for you.
there's a lot of like people that don't have money and they end up like in jail for a long time and stuff. Like, I hear you on that. So you feel like you gotta have money or something just to get out of your situation, especially like prison or any of that, like, in
Yeah,
terms
some
of getting
serious
out of that
shit like
sentence.
that, you need some money.
Okay, and
But
did your grandfather have a lot of money? Because you said he paid like thousands of dollars for your lawyer.
yeah, he had like okay, so he first retired from the military and then he retired from the city of Long Beach. So back in those days, you worked 20 years and you could retire. So he did 20 in the military, got that military pension. You know, those guys get papered up once they retire.
Uh-huh.
Then then after that, he worked 20 more years for the city. And you know, the city, it always pays like the living wage, like a little bit more than the living wage. So bro was good. Bro probably was pulling in probably like in those days, he was probably pulling in like 10,000 a month. That was a lot of money back in those days.
Yeah.
That was a lot of money.
Most deaf. So he was just set with like casting on had a whole bag on him.
Yeah, basically. And he didn't do anything. All my grandfather did was watch sports and bet on sports. That's it. He would just watch sports and bet on sports. And this guy will win a lot. Like he would always win. Because I guess just playing sports and watching sports for so long, this guy knew like every player on every team, who did this, who was injured. He was one of those people. He knew everything about the game, basketball, football, baseball. He bet on those games, and that guy, I'm telling you, he would give me money every day, bro. Every day, this guy would give me like 20 or 40 bucks every single day.
Would you say without him like giving you money that you came up like poor or you didn't have that much money? Like if you didn't have your grandfather around.
I can't say that I came up poor. My mom didn't have money, but my dad's side, my grandma, all of them, they had money. All those people like worked. They were like retirees. They owned property, you know, stuff like that. So I can't say I was poor. I was a bit spoiled, but because I live with my mom and I have other brothers and sisters who have a different dad than me, yeah, it was like a tense thing because like sometimes they wouldn't have certain things, but because my other side of the family had money, I would have more than they did. Like my brothers and sisters would wear like cheap shoes from like Payless. I would wear Jordans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
type of thing. So it did create a little bit of tension in the crib. And that's one of the reasons why I left. I was like, I can't be here because I feel like everyone in the house is ganging up on me just because I have like that other support system.
and like a little hate and all that.
Yeah. From your own family too, which that's the worst.
No, I hear that. Would have you had any like traumatic experiences like being in a like a hood or a gang?
Yeah, man, all my friends are dead or in jail. Like, like if you see me on No Jumper, everyone's like, "Oh, you fake and you this and this and that." It's not even that I'm fake or I haven't went through anything. All my friends are literally dead or in jail, bro. I got 3 friends doing life. They're never getting out. Man, I lost like 4 friends to gang violence, Um, and those dudes ain't coming back. And I think with a lot of people, they might lose people when they're in a gang with somebody, but when you're losing people that you went to second grade with, you're losing people that you've known since kindergarten. Y'all was in the same class. Y'all had a fight in the 6th grade and then became like best friends. That shit hits you different. It hits you different, and it will make you hate that thing. That took them away from you. And at that point, you just be like, man, fuck all this gang shit. Like, it's not amounting to nothing. I got friends who I see their kids. I'm sending birthday gifts to their kids, and these dudes have never even seen their kids without a guard around them at a prison type
Yes.
shit.
Yeah,
You
that
know?
that sucks for sure.
Yeah.
And
I had one friend. I was driving his girlfriend, his baby mom, to the jail to see him. Like, I would drive her there like once a month. And then this guy accused me of sleeping with her. I said, "Oh man, I can't do that. Like, that's done. That's over." But it hurt me because it's like, bro, I'm over here trying to help you out so you can see your kids. And you're accusing me of this shit. Like, bro, that's yeah, it just that shit changes people. And it's just like, I don't want any parts of that crap. That crap is just let the idiots have it. And when they go through it and experience the trauma, then they will understand where I'm coming from.
that's that. Would you say that close friends dying of violence that took a toll on your like mental health?
I wouldn't say it took a toll on my mental health, but I do have like little like ticks or like icks, I guess you could call them. Like, one of my friends got killed sitting in a barber chair. Like, he was getting a haircut. Enemy saw him, went in there, smoked him. Every time I sit in a barber chair, I think about that.
Hmm.
So now I get my haircut at my barber's house. I don't go into barber shops.
Okay, so like you became like more aware of like situations that you're in, just how to
Yeah,
be more
yeah,
safer. All right,
yeah.
all right. Okay, and how was it just being in jail? Like, how was that situation? Would you say that it went good? Like you had a good time? Like on the longest bid you did?
In jail?
Yeah.
Hell no, jail is horrible. Like me, I'm a free bird. Like, I get up, I go, I do this, I do that. I don't know if you see my story. I'm out having a coffee. I'm rolling around Long Beach. I'm doing my thing. For me to be stuck in one place all day, I got like ADD, bro. That shit was miserable. That crap
I,
was
I bet. Okay, what was the longest time you did in jail?
2 months. 2 months was the longest. But that sucked because no, wait, let me see. Yeah, 2.5 months was the longest, but it sucked because I got a year. I got sentenced to a year, but it was during this time where they were doing something called BACA time, where you could get a year, but they would let you out in like 2 weeks, right?
To reduce your time and all?
Right. Excuse me. So you would just get kicked out the system because the jails were overcrowded. So I get a year. I don't know if you ever been in jail, but when you're in the tank, you're showing motherfuckers your paperwork and man, I got charged with this. Then afterwards, you're like, yeah, man, they gave me a year. And all those old fools and those dudes who are always in jail all the time. Oh man, you're gonna get out in like a week. They're gonna kick you out. This ain't nothing. They're gonna kick you out in 2 weeks. Like, you are actually believing these idiots, right? They're just saying this because maybe that happened to them before or it happened to someone they know, this type of thing. So I'm dumb. I'm believing them like, yeah, I'm gonna be out soon. Yeah, I'm gonna be right out. I'm talking to my girl on the phone. Babe, don't even worry about it. I'm about to be out. They said I'm about to be out in like 6 or 7 days. Dude, that is the worst time you can do where you expect to get out early. That is the worst time you can do because every day I would sit on my bunk just waiting for them to call my name. And then after like a month and they never called it, I just gave up. I said, F it, man. I'm gonna be here the whole year. I was so depressed. And then like a whole month and a half later, so it was 2.5 months. One day I had just given up on getting out. I was like, you're gonna do every day, you're gonna do 365 days, you're not getting out. And then just one random day, man, I'm over here trading some guy an apple for a cookie, an apple and a sandwich for a cookie.
Yeah.
And I'm about to get that and then go shower. And man, as soon as that dude put that fucking cookie in my hand, Tucker, roll it up for release. I was like, it's funny when I think about it now, because like the way my mind was like, well, I was like a fucking slave, dude. I didn't believe it. I thought I was dreaming like, huh, they're really letting me out. I
Yeah.
was institutional.
All right.
It's embarrassing, but I really was like a slave, bro. I was like, they're really letting me out. I didn't believe it for a minute, and then someone was like, "Hey, don't you hear them calling you? You getting released?" And so I had a bunch of store and shit. So I just like gave it to everyone who was around me, and then I got the fuck out of there, bro. Man, to see the light of day, man.
I must have felt
Downtown
good.
LA smells like shit, but it was beautiful to me.
All right. All right. Yeah, that must have been a good feeling right there for sure. Did you ever get into any fights while you were in jail or any
No,
situations?
no, none. There was a riot when I was in jail one time, but it was in a different dorm. But from what I heard, some dudes got killed. Nothing cracked off in our dorm. Everybody in our dorm was pretty much like, we want to keep the peace. It was probably about 30 blacks and like way more Hispanics. Like it was a bunch of Hispanics there. Um, but the dude who was like the rep of the Hispanics, he was cool. He was cool as hell. He wasn't like a racist, you know. He
Yeah.
was just like a shot call. And I think the dude came down from the pen, and I think that guy was gonna get out. I think he was gonna get out of jail because he came down to the pen for like a to go to trial or retrial or some shit. Um, and dude was just super cool, super cool. Uh, like of course they would let us eat first. You know, when the food would come, they'll let the food line, and dudes would get into little things, but mostly it was the blacks getting into it with each other. And then the Hispanics they had their little shit going on. And then like, but everybody was pretty much cool in that dorm. I I didn't have no like
Well, there wasn't really
beef.
no
And then
racial tension at all.
nah, with my own people, some guy was mad because like I didn't want to work out because I'm not fucking working out. But the our rep, this dude named Supreme, he was like, leave him alone, let him do whatever he wants to do. Like he wasn't on that shit. A lot of mature guys. It was a lot of mature guys in there.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
know
because
when
I
shit
know.
gets crazy in jail is when the youngsters are running the shit.
Oh yeah, nah, that shit gets wicked for sure. So you didn't have to like do no program while you're in there. 'Cause I know they have like program once you get in there.
The only thing I had to do was like dudes would be like reading and stuff, and like we would just like read books. And so like it wasn't mandatory, but me and like five other guys, it's one book, but we all want to read it. So we would like read out loud, sit around and read out loud, just sharing the book. That's pretty much it. They weren't some dudes were working out, getting buff, push-ups, dips, freaking um um what is it called? Burpees, all that. But our rep, he was a skinny ass dude. He didn't work out. So he was basically like, nah, they don't gotta work out. Because usually you gotta do whatever your rep is into.
Yeah.
And if your rep ain't all about working out, he ain't gonna make you work out.
Mm. Okay, I hear that for sure. All right, and at the point that you went to No Jumper, like what got you onto No Jumper? Like who put you on there, or was it just yourself and your content?
It was Flacco. I knew Flacco before Viral Way started their podcast. And he had came on my channel a couple of times. And he was like, bro, you're really talented. I'm hit up Adam to see if he wants to bring you on. Like 6 or 7 months passed by. He never got back to me. Viral Way started their channel. And then Flacco saw us on there. So he asked Viral Way to bring everybody. He asked Viral Way to come to No Jumper. Well, Viral and his brother went to No Jumper. And Flacco was like, well, where's Brandon at? And they were like, Brandon is not a part of the hosting cast. He's just a guest. He's a recurring guest.
Yeah.
So then Flacco hit me up directly and was like, hey man, come to No Jumper. So I went to No Jumper and it went from there.
So Viral Way wasn't even trying to put you on. Like it was Flacco who really got you that position.
Listen, man, when these dudes are like, why don't you think they're your friends? You see little stuff that people do, and it tells you how they really feel about you. But me, I'm not the person to get emotional and like, man, y'all don't even care about me because look at this and that. I just sit back and watch. I observe. And that's one of those things where it was like, bro, if he said bring the guys from Viral Way, why wouldn't you bring me? I contribute to the Viral Way podcast, but those guys were focused on putting themselves on, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Damn. So yeah, there was a lot of animosity going like
And he
between you
used to
guys.
say shit like he used to say stuff when he would go on like back on thing. Brandon is not Viral Way. Brandon is just Uncle Ruckus. He's not Viral Way. He would say that all the time. So you keep saying I'm not Viral Way. Now all of a sudden Viral Way got your back. I'm not buying it. I'm not falling for that crap.
A lot of switching up for sure.
And me, I don't do that. Like when you hit me up, I agree to come on your platform. You send me something, I share it, right? I send you something, you share it. I'm just like, I'm a fair person. I'm not gonna just be like, yeah, follow me, and I'm not gonna follow you back. That type of shit, you know?
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of like snake stuff they've been doing, you know.
But they
Uh,
think that no one's catching on to it. Because no one's mentioning it, they think you're not catching on to it. But I'm smart. I was catching on to it. I just wasn't saying anything about it.
oh, okay, and being on No Jumper for the first time, like how was that experience?
No Jumper is real cool, man. It's a really mellow, relaxed environment, and I think Adam wants it that way purposely. Um, just it was cool. I like Adam. I like Josh. They're cool. I talk trash about them, but they're cool. But if you do something to me that's like weird, I'm gonna call it out. But if I do something that's weird and you call me out, I'm not gonna take it personal, you know, and neither should you. And I think it makes for good content when we can be honest with each other. And for the most part, I would say Adam, to be a rich ass dude like he is, he's good at like taking criticism and stuff without taking it personal, you know.
Yeah, I know you take a lot of criticism while you're at No Jumper too, just with the takes that you be having, and then it seems like a lot of people that work there, they have like different takes from you. Like, how do you guys like even like able to work together still, and like not even start like a bigger conflict than what it is?
As long as everything's respectful, and mostly as long as things are respectful behind the scenes. On camera, you know, fools are trying to go viral. They're acting up, they're acting out. But behind the scenes, everybody is super respectful. Everybody's cool. You know, if they get food, hey bro, you want something? It's like a work environment. But people are really cool.
Mm, okay, so like people have like a different like what's it called energy when they're on camera and then when they're off. Like you guys are just cool like off camera and all. Like none
Yeah,
of the
me and
stuff you
Munchie
take
B were going
personal.
at it yesterday. You're not like Munchie B has my number. If he has an issue with me, he'll call me. But he's not taking that stuff personal.
Okay, all right. And I know that you're are you still on No Jumper?
No, I quit. We're having a pay dispute. I want to get paid more money. And so Adam is like, hell no. So I'm holding out until they pay me.
I know he said on the podcast that he wants to bring you back and that he didn't really have the time to like discuss like the payment uh arrangement and all because he was on vacation. Are you guys
But
still
he
gonna talk
admitted that
about it?
yeah, but he admitted that he like blew me off. He was like, "Oh, I did kind of like blow him off. I dismissed him because he was mad at some other stuff, the stuff that happened in Hawaii. So he blew me off, and I took that. I mean, I'm not taking it personal, but what I said was, well, until you pay me, I'm not gonna come. That's it. Like, and I'm cool, just chilling, bro. Like, I just came from buying some shoes and shit. Like, I hang out at my house. I shop. I'm getting my kitchen remodeled right now. I could be here doing the things that I need to do for myself. But we'll sit down. We'll talk about it. I think it'll get worked out at the end of the day.
Mm. Yeah, no, for real. And he also said that he wants you back because he wants you to debate with Moose Man uh 916.
Yeah, that should be an easy debate.
Mm. You feel like you'll just pop on everything that he says.
I think that the thing about the stuff that I say, I believe the shit I say. A lot of people debate things that they don't believe in. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
say it because this is what's being said on the TV or on the internet. So if you operate like that, I don't think you're going to be able to research all that stuff enough to really have a good debate against someone who has a position and they stick to it. A lot of people, they're constantly changing their position like Lush does that. Lush changes his position a lot. So it's hard for him to argue for his position because he's always changing it. Me, I don't change my position. I've been saying the same stuff from the first day that I was on No Jumper to today. And if I'm on there tomorrow, I'm gonna say the same thing I said tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like hard to debate so when you're not like standing on what you say or what you believe in.
Bingo. So
Yeah,
we shall
that's for real.
see.
Yeah, most deaf, most deaf. Okay, and would you say that your own channel is like keeping you well off right now? Your own YouTube channel?
Okay, so like on YouTube right now, I'm making about straight from YouTube because I barely post. So barely posting, I'm making about $500 to $600 a month. But I have some people who like support me behind the scenes. They send me like $500 a month, just like every first of the month. Here, Brandon, keep going. So off of that, I'm getting probably like $2,000 a month.
Hey, that's fire right there, most deaf. It's
Yeah,
making
some rich
money.
dude, some dudes with money agree with me, and it's like they didn't recruit me and Brandon say this and say this. It was like they watch my channel. I would see them in my comments for like months. They'd be in my hey Brandon, good job. And once they kind of saw like my message was consistent, they'd ship me off.
Yeah, them supporters for sure. Some real supporters.
Yeah.
You spoke on some kid wanted to become a police officer, and the Breakfast Club were making fun of him because of his hair and because he had patches from like a brain surgery. Do you think the Breakfast Club is against people wanting to become cops?
Um. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. I don't think they're. I think the Breakfast Club panders to people who are ignorant, right? um they know that a lot of their people who watch are not really politically they're not knowledgeable about politics,
Yeah,
and they're not really knowledgeable about like crime rates and all this stuff, so they just pander to that. And the reason I say that is because do you think any of those people in the Breakfast Club would live in one of these crime riddled neighborhoods? No, no, they won't. They live
probably
in
not.
peaceful suburbs where if they call the cops are going to be there in 1 minute or 2 minutes. So you will talk about cops and we don't need more cops and this kid is an idiot for wanting to become a cop. But as soon as something happens to you or you see something in your neighborhood that's sketchy, who's the first person you're going to call? The cops. So they're hypocrites. They want the safe, peaceful neighborhood with the police presence, but then they want to try to act like they're a part of a group who hates the police. It's just hypocrisy. And that kid has patches in his head. His name is DJ Daniel. He has patches in his head because he had brain cancer. He still has brain cancer. He's not going to live to see adulthood. And the fact that they were making fun of him for that, um, it wasn't good.
Yeah, most def. Yeah, that's crazy right there. You feel like the Breakfast Club shouldn't like make fun of people like on their platform, like as big as it is.
They can make fun of people, but you shouldn't make fun of kids with cancer. Basically, like that's just diabolical.
Yeah, that's wicked for sure. You and Almighty had an argument on No Jumper, and where you say Lush should sign Almighty because he's Jewish, and that he would blow him up. Do you feel do you feel like Almighty's career as a rapper hasn't reached like the heights that it's supposed to be?
No, yeah, it hasn't. Almighty Suspect is a good rapper. He's good at rapping, but he's not focused on that. He's too focused on trying to be a gang member, a gangster. You know, he's not a gang member, but he's too focused on trying to like look tough on the internet. It's like, dude, get your ass in the booth, get the hell away from No Jumper, and go focus on your craft till you get to the success you want. And I only say that because he's actually good at it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I hear that. Do you feel like
Lush should stay on No Jumper. I don't think Lush is a good rap. I think Lush is a decent rapper. All Might is a actually good rapper.
yeah, Almighty could actually make songs and all? Like Lush, he has like these little bars and stuff that go hard and shit, but I don't feel like he's like the actual song maker and all, like Almighty. So yeah,
Right.
I hear you on that. Do you feel what initially like started the beef between you and Almighty?
He has said the N word with the hard ER before we got on camera. I asked him, did he say it? He just blew up all that. I wasn't even mad or anything. I was just asking him, did you say the hard ER? And bro just flew off the handle, man. Like that guy.
Yeah, he started like saying like this some disrespectful like stuff to you. What made you like hold your composure and not like take off on him, even try to fight him at that moment?
You know me, I have a job. I work. I have a really good job. And I was just like, if I really like beat this guy up on camera, I got a lot of stuff to lose. That's why people try to fight me. I say, let's just do it at a gym. We sign the waivers. We agree that we're both mutually fighting. And now I'm not liable for anything. It would, people don't have they don't have much to lose. I have a lot to lose. So I can't just be out here in the street rolling around on the ground with people. Oh, come, let's fight. All right, yeah, let's fight. Nah. People at my job have been looking at me like, bro, why didn't you just walk away? You know, why did you react to it? So yeah, I can't be doing that.
So what you're saying is you would like fucked up Almighty like in a fight, like a one on
Without
one.
a question. Without a question. Almighty is not even a challenge for me. And he knows that. He admitted that on Hater World. It was like, bro, you're a black belt and you're twice my size and all this. He knows he can't beat me up. But that guy lives for the comments. He has to prove himself to the internet every day.
Also he was talking about like if you guys did fight, it wouldn't be a fair fight, that he would have like a weapon on him or something.
There you go. But what did you challenge me to? You challenged me to a fair fight. You didn't challenge me to a fight with weapons.
He also pulled out like a knife on you too
Yeah,
during that time. And then they stopped the camera from rolling and all. So what happened after that? Did
the
you guys
camera
like
got knocked over.
hmm, okay,
Yeah.
so did they have to like separate you guys after that? Like you
Okay,
guys
so
can't be on the same podcast?
he spit on me. I jumped up, rushed him. He ran and hid behind security because when I rushed him, that's when the camera got this camera got knocked over by security because security jumped up and like tried to get between us. Almighty ran behind the security in the corner. He's in the corner standing, and I rush up against the security. And so I like push the security, and the security is like stuck between me and Almighty. So I go to reach to grab him. And as I'm reaching to grab him, you heard like in the camera the grunting because I
Yeah.
had them like both smashed up in the corner. And so Almighty's like trying to like, I guess, get out the corner. But he can't. So as I go to like grab his ass because I'm reaching over the security, he pulls out a knife. And then he pulls out the knife and he like opens it. And he's like, yeah, what you gonna do? And he's like acting like he's gonna like stab me. And he's like, yeah, what you wanna do? And so I backed up like, oh, bro got a knife, right? And but yet people keep saying, oh, you didn't do anything. I'm like, I did do something, fool. But everyone is like Superman when it's not them. It's so
Yeah.
funny.
Nah, for real. Okay, if the security wasn't in the way, like at that time, do you think that you would have like took off on him? You
Yeah,
guys would have started fighting?
I would have been able to get to him before he could even pull the knife out because when the security was in between us and I like rammed him in the security in the corner, he was fumbling trying to reach for the knife. I didn't know what he was reaching for. It could have been a gun. So he was trying to reach for the knife because it was like in his jacket pocket, but he's like pushed up against the wall.
Yeah,
So he's reaching for something. And so as I'm like pushing the security and I'm like basically trying to like move the security to like grab this fool, he gets the knife out and opens it. Like he was fumbling. He was so scared. He was like fumbling. And he was like, getting pushed up against the wall. So like, yeah, if the security wasn't there, I would have got to him before he could pull the knife out and I would have just slept his ass right there. Like
mm,
Almighty is not somebody who I look at like, oh, I'm gonna take a long time to end them. I'll end that fool in like 10
uh,
seconds.
yeah.
But
So he just
like
like puts on an act because he's like a
One hundred
rapper.
percent. Who has he fought? He only fought the white boy Kelpie and he fought Lunch. That's it. And there are like 20 people around LA who want to fight Almighty. More than that.
Yep, yep. I know he has a beef with like a famous rapper too that stole like some Pokemon cards.
Yeah, Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, yeah, most
Here's the
definitely.
thing. DC Baby Draco literally was driving past Almighty's family's house at 3 in the morning on live. Hey, Almighty, where are you at? I'm looking for you. He's driving past your parents' house at night in the daytime. Bro, if you drive past my damn parents' house on live saying where I'm at, you ain't gonna have to ask me. I'm gonna come find your ass. Like, what? My mom
Yeah,
lived there, my dad lived there. Why are you driving past my family house putting it on the internet? But that's when I knew Almighty was just a coward. He ain't gonna fight nobody he think he could lose to.
so you would say that he's scared.
Terrified.
Yeah, nah, I feel that right there. How do you feel about Charlie Kirk getting assassinated at one of his events in Utah?
It was a sad day. It was tragic. You know, he didn't deserve that. No one deserves to get killed over their opinion just because somebody doesn't like what they have to say. It just wasn't right. It's not fair. And it's something that should never happen in America, but it did.
Do you think the shooter should get like a death penalty?
Death penalty, 100%.
And the politicians, do you think that they should have more protection when they're out, like in the open debating?
Um, the politicians have a lot of protection. Charlie Kirk did not have the protection of the Secret Service. So, no, the politicians shouldn't get more protection. I just think people need to be smarter. I think anyone who does like what Charlie Kirk does or did, they should just have that stuff inside like auditoriums, metal detectors.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know that Donald Trump almost got assassinated. Uh, do you think if Donald Trump did die like during that assassination, things would change in America, or it would still be the same?
All hell would have broke loose if Donald Trump would have died that day
Mm.
because
So
everyone feels like people within the government have something to do with it. And I think people would have lost all respect for the government of the United States. And they basically would have just start looking at the government as like a regime that is trying to take away Americans' right to choose leadership. Because if Donald Trump dies, Joe Biden wins. And all the people who are against Joe Biden, they don't have a say. You know?
yeah. All right. Do you believe in like those conspiracy theories, like towards like the president, like the assassination attempt and all? Like it was someone in the government, maybe on the left side, that was planning on this.
I mean, these days it's hard to not believe the conspiracies because so many of the conspiracies have come true or have been revealed to be true. So I would say I'm up in the air on it. I'm more like, let's just wait and see. Because the truth will eventually come out.
Uh, for real, for real. Okay,
But
so some.
I gotta get out of here. I actually gotta go to a day in LA in
Oh
a
yeah,
little
no,
bit.
okay, for sure. I just got a couple more questions real quick. I was gonna talk about your jujitsu. Have you ever used your jujitsu skills in like a street fight?
Ah, yeah, yeah. I actually had a fight with a guy in San Pedro. The guy, I don't know why he tried to like take me down on the ground. I just hit this dude with a standing guillotine, choked him out, dropped his ass, and took off. That's like that's like one incident, but there's been several.
Just knocked them out real quick.
Just choked him out, just standing guillotine. He was like trying to like move around, just went limp. I dropped his ass right there, got in my car, and took off.
Hey, no, that jujitsu comes through for sure.
Mostly, it helps you stay calm in a fight. You don't have to worry about what you're gonna do because that's what makes you nervous. Like, what am I gonna do? With jujitsu, you're just kind of like, if he does this, this is what I'm gonna do.
Hey, nah, I hear that. What's the highest belt you could get? Like jujitsu.
The highest belt is red belt, but you don't get that until you're old.
Are you trying to get that?
Yeah, if I can live that long, yeah, I would definitely want it. But I gotta train more regularly. At this point, I've been training like 2, 3 times a month. I need to do like 2, 3 times a week.
I hear that. So you got the brown belt. Is that like a second tier below the red belt?
No, I'm a black belt. Black belt is the next below red belt.
All right, okay. That's what's up. I definitely want to see you like in a couple matches for sure. Like doing your
I'm gonna
jujitsu.
do some matches pretty soon.
No, that's fire for sure. Any advice you would give to the youth like coming up that want to do the same thing as you, either it's podcasting, jujitsu, or just have their own opinion and go against the grain? What would you say to them?
Listen, you have a phone in your pocket. A phone is a computer. Use it to fact check everything. Use it to learn. It's not just for entertainment. Use it to find out things you didn't know. As long as you keep doing that and you're honest about the information that you find and you formulate your opinions based on that, and don't be afraid to like look for new information because it might go against what you believe or what you want to believe, you'll be good. So yeah, whatever you want to do, whatever you got put your mind to, just go ahead and do it and keep working at it, and eventually you will find success. And if you don't find success, you will find out whether that thing was the right thing for you to do. That's it. Are you frozen?
Actually kind of got cut off, but yeah, this was a dope stream. Y'all tap in for the next one for sure. We definitely gonna have some more guests. Shout out to Brandon, and yeah, we out of here. Peace out.